Well, there are now just under 1 million Indians living in Australia, although in some places, like the CBD of Melbourne, this feels like an understatement. Indians now make up the nation's second biggest migrant cohort. Meanwhile, the number of people in the biggest migrant group from the United Kingdom is decreasing. There is a good chance the number of Indians in Australia will exceed POMs in the 2026 census. This is a deliberate policy for the Australian government, the explanation for which, on the rare occasions one is offered, is couched in platitudes about aligning ourselves with one of the biggest and fastest growing economies in the world. Well, this may be true, but it ignores the equally significant effect this has on our society and culture. Indians, to put it bluntly, do not integrate as easily or willingly as POMs and other Christian Europeans. Indian expat Jayant Bandari explained why this might be so in an alarming speech to a Property and Freedom Society conference in Turkey last year. When he migrated to Britain as a young man, Bandari said, he noticed that Indians preferred to recreate their homeland than become part of the society around them. And what they recreated was not good. They sought the familiar smells, noise, and constant hustle and bustle. They recreated never-ending emotionalism, fruitless conflicts, chaos, and intellectual inbreeding. When we were granted unhindered access to the school in Manchester and later to the office where I worked, my fellow immigrants and I often wondered if the British were so naive as to trust us so readily. What was to stop us from stealing everything in sight? Most immigrants never truly grasp the significance of trust and gratitude. Fairness, justice, trust, empathy, and impartiality are alien to many Indians. They have a hard time telling the difference between right and wrong. They are indifferent even when no cost is associated with being fair. Moreover, if they could do good without any personal cost, they would still prefer not to, because that can be seen as a sign of weakness. Well, if they are that disinclined to assimilate, what are the odds they would fight to defend their new home? With Chinese ships lurking off our coast and the prospect of war increasing by the day, I thought it was time to visit Wentworthville in Western Sydney to ask the mostly Indian locals what they would do in the event of war. If war broke out tomorrow, would you fight to defend Australia?
Yep, I would. As a person who is living in this country has also given me so much, I wouldn't mind standing up for the Australia.
How long have you been here, mate?
It's been 1.5 years.
Right, okay. And what is it that you like about Australia?
The culture, environment, the peoples are really friendly, and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And what about you, mate?
Yeah, I think is good the country, and also the clean the environment, as well as the clean the society, street, everything compared to our country. So I like the most part of this.
Excellent.
Country.
And do you have dual citizenship?
No, right now we are in student visa.
Yes, 100%.
How long you been here, mate?
15 years.
Yeah. And where are you from?
India,
And what is it about Australia that you would be defending?
because I live here. Yeah.
Australian values, though?
This is my bread and butter. Yeah, this is my work home. So yeah, definitely defend it.
If war broke out tomorrow, would you fight to defend Australia?
Yeah, sure.
Do you live here?
Yeah,
How long have you been here?
just a month.
Oh, just 1 month. But so why did you move here?
I study.
Right, okay. And do you plan to live here for
No,
No.
I am returning to Sri Lanka after 3 years. I don't want to live here.
Yeah.
I just want to explore something.
Well, and while you're living here, if, say, a war did break out, would you fight to defend the place?
That's actually it's kinda. I don't have an answer for that actually.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I would come forward to fight Australia. Yeah,
How long have you lived in Australia for?
it's been 2 years.
And are you on a student visa or a...
Nah, I just completed my master's now. I'm on temporary resident visa.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
And what is it about Australia that you would be defending?
It's the culture and the good people over here. Yeah, I like this country a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Wentworthville, do you like Wentworthville?
Yeah, of course. I just moved here. Before I used to live in Parramatta.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like this place.
If war broke out tomorrow, would you fight to defend Australia?
Yeah, of course, I would.
Do you live here?
Yeah, I live here.
How long you been here?
I've been here for 12 years now. Yeah.
And what would you be defending if you're fighting to defend the country?
I'll go into the army.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But is it your home or is it Australian values that you're fighting for?
Australian values. I live here. I'm Australian citizen. I value Australian more than
And-
my own home country.
What was your home country?
India. I
Right.
come from India, yes.
Why is Australia better than India?
Because gave me a good life. You know, I made my I spent like I've been here for 12 years. I just turned 18 when I came to Australia. It's like it's my another home. Yeah, I got everything from here. It's
You
good.
sound very grateful.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just depends on. I mean, to be fair, everyone lives a different life and everyone has different living standards. I think some people are not even capable of being in a war or even have the mental capacity to even be in a war.
Yeah.
So I think everybody's different. It just
Yeah.
depends on the person you ask, really.
Yeah. So if you did go off to fight a war
Yeah.
for Australia, what would you be fighting for? Is it territory or Australian values?
I would say Australian values. I think that's what matters the most at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are those values?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of values. I mean, we got freedom of speech. I think that's like what we live for, and our freedom as well. Like, we pretty much have like the right to do anything in this country. We have so many opportunities, so many pathways we can take, anything.
Yeah. If war broke out tomorrow, would you fight to defend Australia?
Different? Yeah, of course. I'm an Australian citizen. So,
How long have you been an Australian citizen for?
nah, I just got it before 3 months.
2 months.
3 months before.
Oh, 3 months.
Yeah, I was there as a permanent resident for around 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got my citizenship by 3 months before.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes. What is it about Australia that you love so much?
I like the economy, the places over here, no pollution, no much pollution over here, and healthy lifestyle, and the balanced work structure.
Yeah.
That all means to me a lot.
Do you think most Indians who live in Australia would fight to defend Australia?
Of course, they should. That's a moral, right? Like, I defend personally. Of course, other people has to defend because it's been my country now.
Yeah.
So that's my first statement. However, to be a general public, where you stay and where you love is to be defended always.
So, if war broke out tomorrow, would you guys fight to defend Australia?
100%.
If war broke out?
War broke out.
Yeah. I'll be representing Australia.
You were born here?
No, I'm Slovakian.
I was born here.
Born and raised.
Okay, so what would you be defending? What is it about Australia that you love?
Independence, free will, just good blokes.
Good blokes. Didn't ask about you.
There is a natural bias to these street vox pops. The people who agree to be interviewed by a stranger on the street are generally agreeable types of people, which is a characteristic that increases the likelihood of being prepared to join a defence force. For every one of these blokes who agreed to be filmed, there was another who brushed me off. I'm guessing they'd be on the first plane out of here at the outbreak of hostilities.